What's up, YouTube? Yu-Gi-Oh! Master 88 here with the next installation of the Linux report, the Linux news report. Microsoft announces enhanced version of Ubuntu 18.04 for Hyper-V. It just takes 3 clicks to get Ubuntu running on Windows 10 Pro. Well, it just got easier to run Ubuntu in Windows 10 as a virtual machine, and it's all thanks to Microsoft. Windows 10 Pro users are now able to spin up an enhanced Ubuntu virtual machine directly from the Hyper-V Quick Create tool. The Hyper-V Gallery Ubuntu image lets Windows users get a full Ubuntu 18.04 desktop session set up and running sooner, with fewer post-install steps required to make it usable, which has been something of a pain point until now. The bootable Hyper-V image of Ubuntu 18.04 LTS comes with XRDP pre-configured to support enhanced session mode out of the box. Enhanced session mode in Hyper-V is kind of like guest tools in VirtualBox, and that once enabled, you get better integration between host and guest, including clipboard support, dynamic desktop resizing, shared folders and drive redirection, seamless mouse sharing. Does this matter? Sure it does. An awful lot of Ubuntu users run Ubuntu on Windows using virtual machines. Microsoft is aware of that fact, hence the creation of the Windows subsystem for Linux. Aware that many developers and IT admins on Windows rely on virtual machines to run Linux on Windows, Microsoft decided to roll its sleeves up and work with upstream XRDP and an implementation of Microsoft's RDP protocol for Linux to iron out the kinks. And the result in this news, the Ubuntu 18.04 Hyper-V image, which is arguably more flexible than WSL, as it supports a full GUI session, has neat system integrations, and of course, actually uses the Linux kernel. With only 3 clicks, the users will be able to get an Ubuntu VM running that offers clipboard functionality, drive redirection, and much more, Microsoft boasts. In short, the addition of Ubuntu 18.04 to the Hyper-V Gallery gives developers and system admins on Windows 10 a faster way to install an optimized version of Ubuntu 18.04 using Hyper-V. Ubuntu 18.04 and Hyper-V. What is Hyper-V and how do I enable it? Hyper-V is a native Windows hypervisor. Hyper-V is a native hypervisor virtual machine feature available in Windows 10 Pro, Enterprise, and Education editions. And as a hidden feature, it allows users to create virtual machines on 64-bit versions of Windows Serve and Desktop. You cannot download Hyper-V to use on other versions of Windows 10, nor can you enable the feature on Windows 10 Home. Hyper-V requires Windows 10 Enterprise, Professional, or Education, a 64-bit CPU with second-level access translation, CPU support for VM monitor mode extension, and 4 GB of memory minimum. The feature is turned off by default. You can enable Hyper-V on Windows 10 Pro from the turn Windows features on or off settings panel. And that's it. The feature is now enabled, ready for you to use. Why not just use VirtualBox? Wondering if Hyper-V is better than VirtualBox, or what the benefits of each other over the other are? It's a reasonable question that has a somewhat answer. To be totally blunt, if you want to run a full Ubuntu desktop with customizable graphics performance, driver emulation, working sound, access to USB drives, and more, you should stick to VirtualBox, VMware, and other VM software. Hyper-V also relies on the remote desktop protocol to display the virtual machine, whereas VirtualBox, VMware, and similar visualization software do not. But if your needs are a little more simple, say you only access to the core OS and packages for a specific GUI app, command line, and so on, then this newly optimized version of Ubuntu 18.04 LTS is worth giving a spin. While Hyper-V is generally a one-type hypervisor when used on Windows Server, where it runs directly on hardware, not on top of an OS, which is running on hardware. It is a Type 2 hypervisor when used on Windows 10 Pro desktop. Assuming you followed the steps to enable Hyper-V on Windows 10, see above, you can go ahead and use it. To install Ubuntu on Windows 10 using Hyper-V, all you have to do is launch the Hyper-V Quick Create app from the Start menu. Here you can see the strongly new Ubuntu 18.04 VM image available in the gallery of available operating systems. Select Ubuntu and create the Create Virtual Machine button. Follow the on-screen steps, add your user account, and set a display resolution. Once complete, you'll see an XRDP login prompt before you log in with the user account and password you chose during setup. You must make sure that Xorg is selected. Wayland is not supported. After that, you're good to go. And that's pretty much the article, people. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below. And with that being said, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Master 88 saying see you later.